One's good, one's bad, yeah, they're really always like this. We don't know who's who, but at least we know who Mike is. They love to complain, they got sports on the brain, and they frequently drive each other insane. It's the good and the bad and the Mike. The good and the bad and the Mike. The good and the bad and the Mike. It's the good and the bad and the Mike.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Good, the Bad and the Mike. I'm Oisín, that's Cian.
Hello.
Live from Donegal. And that's Mike.
Hello.
So Cian will have a bit worse internet, is that what you were saying this week, Cian?
A little bit, yeah.
Just slightly.
We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we're okay. Seems to be okay so far.
Fingers
So,
crossed. Fingers crossed
yeah.
it'll last the whole time. Be grand.
It'd be nice.
So you had a bit of housekeeping you wanted to bring straight off the top?
Just some comments that have been brought to my attention, which I thought was funny. Just big shout out to my parents. Apparently they've listened to a few episodes,
Solid.
and they had one comment, and I just wanted to bring this up for discussion.
Alright, what is it?
What
Mike,
is it?
you don't get that? Mike is quite posh.
Mike
Is
is
what they
say.
quite posh.
Yeah, Mike sounds posh.
Really?
Mike is pretty posh,
You know-
to be fair.
That is a fact, because Megan also says I'm posh. I wouldn't say I
But to be
was.
fair, everyone to Megan is posh. So she said I was posh.
That's
But
also fair.
That's
But yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Mike
But
is
really,
pretty
I'm posh.
to be fair. He is
I-
from the south side.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have considered myself
I think
posh.
just anyone that sounds South Dublin, they don't all people sounds posh.
And
So,
I don't
Mike is
sound
South Dublin.
Sorry, but I don't sound. I sound Wicklow.
Which is
There's
South
a
Dublin.
difference. No, it's not.
You're
It's its
telling
own
yourself
county.
that, Mike.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
It's its own county.
But I'm a
South Dublin? No, it's not.
big fan of that
Nah,
bit of
nah.
housekeeping. Mike is very
Well,
posh.
Kids' parents, I will try and sound less posh.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. Just a thing,
Yeah,
you know.
Mike,
you
don't-
saying that sounding posh is
Don't
bad?
try
I don't think
don't
it's
try and
bad.
please
It's just
people, Mike. You just be
yeah,
you.
it's just you be you. Just so you know, you
Live
sound
your own
posh.
life. Just know that you sound posh. That's all we want. All right.
I
that's
think at
pretty
least they know
solid.
who I am now. At least
That yeah,
probably
they
know who
do
I am now.
actually. Yeah, they know who you are now. Because I told you this is the funniest thing that's happened for years. When I'd be like hanging out with my family and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, going away wherever, doing whatever." And they go, "Who are you going away with?" And they're like, "Oh, the Pokemon lads." And they're like, "You do so much with these people, and we know fucking nothing about them." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but that's by design."
Yeah. It's
One of
you
these
wouldn't-
days.
You wouldn't let us go to join in
That's
on a family quiz night.
No,
Oh,
I wouldn't.
that was
for
the
a very-
worst.
yeah.
We did ask.
That's so left out.
Fair.
And it's not like an intrude, it's just a quiz. The
I feel
more
like-
the merrier.
Yeah,
That-
I was
yeah.
involved in Mike's family
Could have
quiz
done it
night
to help
once
as well.
because he forgot to mute his mic when he left. the house.
What?
I had to text him and go, "Yeah, I could hear you at the moment."
I should have joined in.
Yeah, you should have given some answers, you know. Oh, fuck.
Ah, classic. All right, let's go
Anyway,
straight into news. Let's go straight into news.
That's straight
Who's got
into
news? Mike. I know you've
All
got
right.
news.
So, I got a funny one first before I get to the sound. But the funny one, like the mood, is do you remember a while ago when Leeds, it was serious when they're in the championship and when the fans were not allowed in the stadium, they said send in a picture, we'll put your photo of you in the stands,
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
and they didn't do their
Yes.
thorough check on it, and it's
Yes,
Osama bin
yes.
Laden.
Yes, I remember.
So something similar happened
Oh,
with
no.
Everton. So they did a COVID post on their Twitter with saying, look, send in a few photos. We're gonna say a tribute to all those Everton fans that passed away.
Oh no.
Right.
And someone put in a photo of Van Frank and it made a tweet and there's a photo of Van Frank
Oh,
on it
no.
and
no.
a tribute. They eventually realized that they've taken it down.
How do you not
Maybe she
realize
isn't-
when you're putting
maybe
it
she
together?
is, and everything, but like, yeah, they must have had any kind of oversight, and like, because they probably got thousands of photos which you just can't go through.
True.
But it,
Yeah.
True. But even just
Very
as you're
bad.
putting it together,
Yeah, true.
Like, do you not just see them as you're putting it together and then go,
I
"Wait a
mean-
second, that one?"
Yes, but I don't know if they're doing thousands of it and it's someone's half job, but they're probably not getting paid enough, and they really don't care.
Yeah, it's
I
very
can see it
fair.
Yeah.
slipping through the cracks.
Very fair. That is fantastic, though.
But yeah, so good job, Everton publicity. Good
Yeah,
job.
still not as bad as the Joe Hart job done. Not as bad as that.
Ooh.
That was that was a big.
To be
oof.
fair, that wasn't him. That was his agents.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
I think it. I don't know either. To be honest,
Just
I had one bit of news that I wanted to discuss, which was very briefly. It's not even. It's actually, to be honest, it's complete non-news. But I just found it funny when I read it. Apparently, Spurs paid the release clause for Pau Torres, 50 million euros, and Pau Torres decided he wasn't going to go to Spurs because he'll only leave Villarreal for a big club.
I did hear that.
I did read that they had that had happened, but I didn't see who it was to. But that's kind of funny.
Classic
I just
Spursy.
saw it. I just started to laugh because it's so funny. It's
Would
like
they
not
be
even
considered-
a meme anymore.
I assume they are considered big club until Kane leaves. Would you?
I don't know. I don't even know if they are. a
I
big
think
club at the moment.
I think they're a big club in England, but I think outside of England, other teams are looking at them going,
Did they? They
You
didn't
know.
even qualify for Europa League last year, did they? Or-
no, they're in
No.
the
The
Europa
Conference League
Conference this
qualifier.
year.
Oh, oh, I did read that they're like don't they have a game for that tomorrow or something that Kane's playing
Yeah.
in, or
Yeah.
that was. All right, yeah.
So like they're not even guaranteed in the Conference League group stages.
Who are they playing for the playoff games now tomorrow?
I think it's
not
a
100%.
Portuguese
Let
team.
me look it up.
I think it's a Portuguese team.
Yeah, someone you'd imagine they'd beat anyway to get into this new thing.
I mean, if they beat City, surely they can beat this team.
True.
That's a very fair point.
Yeah. they may as well. They played so well without Kane. They may as well drop him for this game.
That's it. I was a big fan. It seems City's tactic of let's pretend we're going in for Harry Kane to make sure he doesn't play against him. Twist his head and go, yeah, no, we don't want them anymore.
They're playing Pacos de Ferreira, who are a Portuguese team,
Well done,
and
Mike.
who beat Larne from Northern Ireland 4-1 on aggregate in the last round. So that game, the first leg of that game, is on Thursday. This Thursday in Portugal, and the winner of that goes straight into the group stages.
Okay.
Oh, fair. So they should get in. Yeah.
I mean, that joke, like, is it almost better for them if they lose this game?
Probably,
Just-
but that'd be really embarrassing.
It would be so embarrassing.
It would be embarrassing, but
In the long
I
run,
assume the
also
games
think
are
they'd probably be better.
Thursdays.
Yeah, I
assume
think
the
they're
games are-
Thursday nights as well as Europa
Sorry.
League.
Yeah, so you're probably best off just take it on the chin, take the embarrassment for a few weeks, and then just focus on the Premier League and not have to travel.
Or
Having
they
said
could,
that,
like,
though, I
if they
think
do
they-
qualify, they can just play like a B team in the group stages and just kind of see how they get on.
Even then, I think they'd be relatively confident about winning the whole thing.
Oh, I think so.
Probably,
I'm
yeah.
not sure like what other teams are in it that are at the same level.
Could they be? Could
Shamrock
the
Rovers.
Spurs team? Could the
Yeah,
Spurs
because they're
team
at
be
the
like?
same level as Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look, there's a gap there. They could be the Seville of the Europa Conference.
Shamrock Rovers have
Constantly.
won a trophy more recently than Spurs, I believe.
Probably. Haven't they won the Irish League recently?
Yeah, I can't remember when Spurs last won a trophy, so I'm pretty sure the Shamrock Rovers. I feel like it's like a vast number of years ago. Oh, Roma, actually, to be fair, are in.
Oh. Alright, Spurs are tanking. It's no
So
longer
Spurs
a
are
walkthrough.
tanking.
Jose,
Roma to walk
Jose
it.
Mourinho.
Yeah, Jose with his 10-0 first game in charge or whatever that was, I'd be scared too if I was Tottenham.
Feyenoord aren't at the same level. Copenhagen. Yeah, I think it's really like Spurs and Roma seem to be a step above the rest of the teams in it. In my opinion, that's just
You
my
never
opinion.
know.
That's fair.
That's it. You never know what happens in a game of football.
That's true.
All it takes is a shitty penalty and a red card, and you're done.
That's fair. I mean, they don't have Cushing in charge of them, so the penalties won't be that easy to
Like,
get.
we just mentioned what Joe Hart said when he said, "Joe, job done."
You,
Job done.
you wouldn't be saying that, Keane, if you had seen my Albacete save.
The penalties not flowing as much.
They keep getting overturned by VAR.
Oh yeah, you keep saying this. You'd like a game streak of 10 games in a row where you'd like a penalty overturned by VAR.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. But anyway, that's a whole different
That's-
kettle of fish.
True.
Good old Albacete. Does anyone have more news?
Yeah, one quick bit of the 7 in a row is now officially dead.
How do you feel about
Someone
that,
has
Mike, as a fellow Dublin
Finally
man?
beaten Dublin.
I mean, as a Wicklow man, I don't know who to support, as it is quite a common thing. As it used to be funny where whenever you go to see the Dublin game in the Wicklow, where I was from anyway, Greystones, I go into those because we'd be watching the regular football games and the Dublin game will be on. And my God, the amount of people there I'd see with their Dublin jerseys on, I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't watch
outside of Dublin,
GA.
that would be
I don't follow
quite common.
GA. As a Wicklow person, we're not good, so I don't follow it at all. I have no
One-
interest in the
One of
sport.
only 2 counties to never win a provincial title in hurling or football.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Who's the other
That's
county?
Fermanagh.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, isn't it? Never.
But I guess everyone just half follows Dublin so they can claim, oh yeah, look, we won
Yeah,
something.
that's
Fair.
fair. I mean, yeah, it was like first team since Donegal 2014 to actually beat the Dubs because they're fucking machine. So it was.
From what I heard
Did you
from
watch
it,
the
though,
game, Keane?
Dublin
No, I
screwed
didn't.
up. From what
Like,
I heard,
they were
Dublin-
far ahead, and then apparently Mayo just played really well. But there's apparently just some amount of infighting and complacency, and I don't think a lot of the Dublin players being around for a while just don't care that much anymore.
Yeah, which is,
So
I
it's-
mean, when you've won
Yeah,
6
in a row. Like-
but like Dublin just, it was completely their own fault. They went
Yeah.
like they didn't score. They didn't get a score in the first like 15 or 20 minutes of the second half, and I don't think they scored at all in extra time.
I actually have no idea. I mean, like, I know they're up by 6 at half, and that's
Yeah,
everyone
was
turned it off
10-4
at that
half,
point.
and that was like you
But
would have
see-
thought it was done.
I think what Mayo won by like 3 or 4 in the end. So they actually coasted away in the extra time.
Yeah,
But it's good to see.
Dublin
It'll be a
scored 4
shame.
points after halftime.
Oh yeah, that's just not like
Absolutely
them.
shocking.
But it'd be nice to see Mayo win it. But I think Kerry are very strong, so I would like to see Mayo win it. I have a pecking order. I hate Dublin, I hate Tyrone, and then I hate Kerry
Fair.
in that order out of all the counties. So I'd like to see Mayo win it, but it's still very hard to see them beat.
while we're on the
Kerry.
topic,
It'd be kind
I
of
could
funny
be wrong.
if after
Yeah.
ending the search for 7 in a row, Mayo go on and to be fair, from that game, it looks like they will get absolutely hockeyed. But it'd be kind of funny to watch Mayo go on and lose to.
It'd be the most Mayo thing of all time.
Oh yeah, if they that's like at this point, surely they must be going. We beat Dublin. We've got a really good chance of winning it. But actually, if you like anyone who's watching that game, like Kerry, if Kerry were watching that game, they were probably thinking whichever side goes through, we're not that worried. Neither team
No,
are
yeah.
good.
Yeah. It will also be interesting to see now, because originally on Saturday they announced the Kerry Tyrone game was off because of the amount of COVID cases that Tyrone have, but then yesterday, they announced now they're playing it on the 28th and they're pushing like the rest of the season back for another 2 weeks. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of team Tyrone can get together because they probably haven't been training with all the COVID cases.
It's
don't
not
think
even
they've
just that
announced
they
how
haven't been
many of them they
training.
have.
I believe, from what I've heard, like some of the players have been quite sick. Like
I
not
actually haven't looked into how much they have actually gotten, so
not
that would
in,
be quite concerning.
in ICU levels of sick, I don't think, but still like quite sick. So it's not just
Yeah,
a
but,
case
like,
of sitting
At
in your house
best, they're just sitting in
quarantining.
their house, like, and that's still quite bad.
Yeah, so it's like worse
So-
than that.
I mean, I think they're just happy to have a game, to have a chance, like even they do have to put out.
Well, they
like
were
a few
originally
reserves.
told that it was going to be this weekend.
They originally
were only
told it
gonna
was
push back a
cancelled,
week.
wasn't it?
They were originally the GA wanted them to just push it back 1 week.
Yeah, which doesn't make any
and,
sense, really.
Tyrone were like, no, we're not going to have a team if we just push it back a week. We're not either kick us out or delay it further. So
Weird ultimatum was like, all right, they called their bluff.
But yeah, it'll be
no,
interesting to see.
Yeah, should be like, as I think the All Ireland hurling and football finals will be very interesting this year. So it'll be nice to watch. Now I haven't been watching that much of either this season, but probably tune into the finals anyway.
Very fair.
It's very fair.
Mike, did you say you had more news?
Yeah, it's just a small one, but I think as a football fan, we have to appreciate and just say, over the weekend, Gerd Muller did pass away, and I thought it'd be nice just to
I didn't even hear
acknowledge how good a footballer that man was.
that. Very fair.
That was on my list as well. 75.
Yeah.
When he passed.
Mike, not him. Just pointing that out.
That's
Best
it.
save.
Wait.
Always hated Gerd Muller. Always said that.
I just like to think we're even now, wishing you stole my Copa American news.
yeah.
I thought I'd cut you back.
Very fair. But yeah, it was sad to see on Sunday morning. 75 years old when he passed.
You see, he had a
fantastic
shrine
footballer.
dedicated to Messi, which he donated to Bayern Munich.
No.
Shrine
Yeah,
to
'cause,
Messi donated
Yeah,
to Bayern
Messi.
Munich.
Messi, when he broke Gerd Muller's record.
Oh,
When did he break that? It was a few years ago he broke the record.
no idea.
He sent Gerd Muller, I think, a jersey. That jersey when he broke it. And Gerd Muller sent it to Bayern Munich, and now it's in the Allianz Arena, I believe.
That's weird.
I thought it was a nice touch.
Like, yeah, I
Gerd.
thought you'd send it to like Barcelona or something. I can understand sending it to Bayern Munich, but I don't know, Barcelona would probably made more sense. But neither here nor there, I suppose.
But yeah, that's all.
Bad.
All my news.
I had one other piece. Keen, do you have any more?
No, I'm good. Work away.
I had one other piece that will tie into later in the show. We're going to discuss La Liga's financial regulations, which is quite interesting. But
Yes.
I read during the week that Barcelona had deferred salaries during the season last year for COVID. I believe Bartomeu said that they had just written them off essentially, or they had been forgiven, however much. But actually, they were just deferred. So Barca still owes Messi €52 million as part of the deferred salary.
Now, it would be the greatest thing of all time. In the next Real Madrid president election, Bartomeu comes out and says it was me that dismantled Barcelona as his entire campaign.
Oh, that'd
Double
be
agent.
incredible.
It's been this long plan set out.
And then he runs Real really well, perfectly.
That's it. It's been orchestrated. Florentino Perez he knew he was taking over the Super League, so he's like, I need someone to take over Real Madrid. And Bartomeu's like, I got this.
Don't worry, bro. Got your back. Oh, that'd be incredible.
Yeah.
My God, that's Bartomeu's music.
You get what the silver medal in shithousery next to who's this guy playing in Italy who conceded a penalty against the team he had signed a contract to play for at the
Stefan
end
de
of the
Vrij.
season. Yeah.
That meant the team he was moving to got European football over.
Yeah.
What a man.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
That was a classic moment.
Amazing.
That was all the news I had, other than obviously it was the first weekend of Premier League and La
sweet.
Liga, and I think Bundesliga's first week as well. I know they had games this weekend, but I wasn't sure if it was their first. But yeah, so with the Premier League having started after 1 week, Joe is currently leading the Fantasy Football League. Joe, friend of the pod.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's had a good week, but that's still open for anyone to join if they want. The details will be in the description as they were last week. And did you have any takeaways from the first week of football? It was the Bundesliga's first week, by the way. I just checked.
Fuck Bruno
Uh,
Fernandes. That's all I'm gonna put out there.
Yes, very fair.
I
Incredible
guess after building him up a bit, disappointed with Aston Villa.
game. Yeah,
There's a bit of a
it's only 1 week.
But to Mike, that's everything.
I'm not gonna lie, I had Villa on a few things that let me down.
Fair.
Uh,
Big surprise on Friday night. Ivan Toney came out good. So that
He
was
did
fun
score,
to see.
Keane.
I
but-
thought he did. Did he not score?
No.
Oh fuck! I thought he scored. Never mind. Ivan Toney and the boys. He is
He
my
had a good
only
game.
player
He
in
didn't
Brentford.
score.
Who the Brentford fans chanting "You're just a shit Tottenham Hotspur" was
Yes,
my
that was
favourite
brilliant.
takeaway of the week. I'd
How
also
long
just like to
until
apologise for
what's-his-face
any
gets sacked?
French Ligue 1 fans because I didn't mention them, but they're in their second week.
For fuck's sake.
Ah,
Yeah,
we
sorry.
just lost France.
Yeah.
Congrats,
It's
Oshie.
alright,
You
it's
lost
alright,
us, France.
I made up for it.
Do we think what's his face will get sacked soon? Or maybe
I think
the Arsenal
Arteta
manager? Yes,
is
thank
probably
you.
Arteta,
First,
yeah, he's
I'd
living
say-
on borrowed time, I think.
like the second goal is just classic Arsenal over the years. Any ball into the box just bounces over the defender and it's just chaos for a free header.
Fair.
What's their run of games coming up? They have Chelsea next.
No idea.
City.
They have,
They
a,
have
yeah,
City
they
as
have
well.
a tough.
Did any of you see their
Tough next
fixtures
two
laughing at them?
games.
Yeah, ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. Yes.
That's
I
what
did
Key
appreciate
takes away
that.
from photos. It's the games, it's the
Like-
ha ha ha.
Yes, well, once again, meme format. Somebody just posted it saying that Arsenal's fixtures are laughing at them, and I
Very fair.
enjoyed that.
Their next 5 games are Chelsea, Arsenal, Norwich, Burnley, Spurs. Do you think he survives those 5 games?
Alright, well the record's 4 games. Isn't it Frank de Boer
The
after
record
4
is
games?
4 games, yeah.
I mean, like, he does have Chelsea and City next to the top 3, 4, 5 teams, whatever you want to call them. So, like, would you expect to even get a win out of them at all? Would you be more on the games after that? Would you kind of give them a bit of a free pass?
It depends really, because
Yeah, I suppose
Depends on
how they look.
how much they lose by, I think, at this point.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't see them
That's
getting
very
wins in either of those. They also have West Brom in the Carabao Cup in between those 2 games.
fair.
But I think
Are
it could be
they-
a tough one.
Premier League, West Brom?
No.
No, relegated.
Oh, fair.
Big
Um,
Sam's first relegation.
Yeah,
No! Didn't drink
Yeah.
enough pints of wine.
they're in the
Didn't go
championship.
4-4-2.
4-4
Four,
fucking
fucking
2.
2.
I didn't want to curse there.
Oh yeah, because we've never cursed on the pod before.
Yeah, but now that I know Kieran's parents watch, I have to maintain my persona as the nice posh one.
They never said nice. They never said nice.
Oh.
That's a new laugh.
That's worse.
Yeah.
I was disappointed Barcelona nearly threw away their first game of the season, which would have been very funny. They were 3-0 up in
Yeah.
the 80th minute, and then it was 3-2 after 85 minutes. But they managed to hold out and win 4-2. That was,
Fuck.
I
Yeah.
saw when it went to 3-2, I was like, oh, I really want to talk about this on the podcast yesterday. I really hope they throw it away against Real Sociedad. But
Jesus.
they didn't, unfortunately.
So good signs of life anyway, Barcelona after Messi leaving.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently,
I hear the pie is doing well. Not sure.
Braithwaite
I've heard
scored,
things.
2 goals and got an assist. Martin Braithwaite is the new Messi.
The main man.
Is he? No, he's not English. He's Danish.
Danish.
Danish, yeah.
Just sounds English, doesn't he?
Yes, he spent a good few years at Middlesbrough. I have to say, when I remembering him at Middlesbrough and going, he plays for Barcelona now, just doesn't add up in my head.
It's
Was
like what do
he-
you call that first English player before Beckham? Is it Thomas Graveson who went from like Middlesbrough to Real Madrid? There was the stupidest English transfer to Real Madrid
He's
before Beckham.
Danish.
Not Thomas. It
Gravesen.
was.
Gravesen.
It was an English player. There was an English player before Beckham. It was
Woodgate.
the randomest. I think it was Garth. Yeah, was it Garth Wood?
Jonathan. No,
Jonathan
Jonathan
Woodgate.
Woodgate.
I think it was him. It was just the weirdest transfer at all time. Who went from I want to say Middlesbrough to Real Madrid, and it's weird. I thought that was weird because he
Was
never
it
played for them, didn't he?
He did. He got sent off and scored an own goal in his debut, I believe.
Maybe that's why he didn't play much after then. But I remember that like before Bexa, there was someone really weird who went.
Was Braithwaite, was he the
Yeah, he played
guy?
9 times in 3 years for from Newcastle to Real Madrid, and then after a while, then he played for Middlesbrough. Okay. So I was close
You
enough.
were close. Was Braithwaite the guy that Barcelona got on the emergency transfer?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And then COVID happened, the league stopped, and then all our players came back from injury.
They're like, it's still an emergency.
It's an emergency.
An emergency. Do you think that's how they did it when they tried to get like the approval? They're like, it's an emergency.
Oh, 100%. Hi, Mr. Commissioner. What's the good word?
That's it.
Wow, I got
Barcelona
loud all
had
of
to
a
take the
sudden.
boot. The boot.
The boo. Their longest running disciplinary action. Fuck.
All right, so let's move
Right.
on
Yes.
to the big question. How many teams can Keane recognize a player from?
All right, who's
in
keeping
Premier
score?
League?
Who's?
All right.
Well, I can't keep score. so I need
Okay,
I'll
somebody
okay,
to
keep
score.
score.
I
I'll
got-
keep score.
Alright,
Okay.
but actually, before we start this,
Yes.
how many do you reckon after 20 teams would you know
That's-
at
yeah.
least
Well,
one?
of
well,
19,
19.
because we know he doesn't know any
19.
Brentford.
Yes.
I'm going to say, I'm going to be conservative, and I'm going to go 12.
You're gonna go 12.
Yeah, I think it could be 12.
That's a
I know.
So wait, he doesn't know 12 or he
No,
knows
he
12?
knows from 12.
I'd be
Okay.
surprised if I knew less than 12. Genuinely.
Keane said last week 15, but I don't know if I can commit to that high.
I'm gonna go 10. I'm going
Oh my
10.
god, you have no faith in me.
Yeah, we really
I
don't.
really. Sorry, Keane, unless it's a meme format, you're screwed.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's been memes about lots of players over the years. So,
So you're saying though that it's 4 teams outside of the top 6 that he can name a player from.
Yeah.
That's.
yeah, I'd be surprised.
I'd be
But,
surprised if it was. Yeah, I
Well,
don't know. Even 12.
Alright,
well,
I
fine.
thought 12 was a conservative.
I did too, as well. To
Option.
be fair.
I'm going
Uh,
10.
All right, Mike, explain the rules to the good people at home.
Okay, so the rules are we're gonna start by just naming the team, and if Keane doesn't get a name straight off the bat, we will then name the first 11 of that team.
From the
And if he
weekend.
still can't on the weekend, and if he still can't, we're counting it as he doesn't know.
I think
I
Yes.
know it's. And we
Starting
also
11 might
yeah.
be, I might be a bit more restricted on that, but yeah, that should be okay.
We also have honor system here, as I know we had the draft, the fantasy football where he's picked players.
There,
So
I
he
came out with
has-
one name from that I'm not going to use, which was Dunk. That was the one player that I
Okay.
learned. I should have paid more attention, but I really didn't.
But we have an honor system going.
Like, there's a lot of
Gentleman's
players'
agreement.
names that were taken. I was like, I have
Yes.
no idea who that player is. Couldn't
That's-
tell you where they played or
Okay.
who they played for.
So, I guess I'll just go from the top of the table and go from there.
Yeah, all right.
Is it?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Actually, I'm just going to
Alright,
pull that
so
up because I like the
Manchester
visual things.
United is named
Alright.
player.
Pogba,
Okay, Grant. Chelsea.
Mendy. Weird one.
No.
He's their goalkeeper,
Is-
isn't he?
Oh yes,
He
Mendy.
is, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I was thinking of Liverpool.
Oh, sorry. Wait. Were you thinking of Liverpool, or is that the next team?
No,
No,
that's the next team.
No, that's
Oh,
the
I,
next
I
team.
know who he was thinking
Sorry.
of, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
sorry.
All right. Salah.
West Ham.
I feel like I'm going to need some help. No, I read something recently. Mark Noble's still there, isn't he?
Correct. He's still there, I believe, isn't he?
He was like the longest
Yeah.
running player.
He's
of the
now the
team
longest
since
serving
Messi
Yes.
player
left,
after
isn't
Messi's
he? Yeah.
gone. Yeah.
Everton.
Oh, definitely going these. Oh, what's his face? Rodriguez, James Rodriguez. He's there now, isn't he? After he's annoyed that what's his face left the
He
manager.
is still there.
Yeah.
I was half convinced you were going to go for Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Yeah.
Didn't know he was
Or-
there. Oh yeah. Don't know if he technically counts anymore.
Very
That's-
fair.
Brentford, we already know. You did not
Yes.
know him. Watford.
I mean, if I say one name and I'm wrong, do I get another guess?
Yeah, I'll give you a
Yeah, I
guess.
think that's fair.
Okay, Watford. Let me think. Okay. Bardini, is it that?
Yep, Deeney's still there.
Oh, get in.
Brighton.
I'm gonna need to hear some names.
Alright, let's get the team sheet out for Brighton.
Oh, we're on our first team sheet of the night.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised I've lasted this long, but I think I've gotten a lot of easy ones to start,
That's
which
fair.
I'm okay with.
You've got 6 so far. Six out of 6.
Has he
so
got
far.
6?
Yeah.
He's not 6. I've named Brighton's 8. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
because we
Brentford doesn't
skipped-
count.
7.
Yeah, but like,
Yes.
Fucking hell.
He has 7 now. Does he not? Because Brighton's the 8th team.
no, because is this not the 8 team that we're on that I
Yes.
but I
Yeah,
haven't
okay.
gotten it yet.
Yes, sorry.
Fucking hell, Mike.
Alright, hold on. Getting the team sheet for Brighton.
Can I look at it? That might be easier if I.
I'll name you. Here we go. So, Brighton's team.
I mean,
R.
if you want to look at it
Sanchez.
as well,
Yeah,
that's
You can look at
fine.
it as well.
There's nothing to stop you.
Definitely feel like I know some. That's not Burnley.
I mean,
to
I'm
them.
looking at the list here. There is
Oh.
one you should get.
Shane Duffy. That's.
Yeah.
I was gonna say dunk there just to piss you off.
Wouldn't have counted because you're not.
I know.
allowed.
Yeah. Alright. Leicester.
Barty. He's having a party.
He
Yep.
is indeed.
Spurs.
Does Kane count?
He's
Yes.
still there.
He's still there.
Technically, he's still there.
Villa.
Villa. Fuck, Grealish is gone. He would have been the first one I would have thought of. Yeah, we're gonna need a team sheet on this one too. Where's the Villa game? Go. Alright. Danny Ings. Does that count? Because I kind of only
Yeah.
heard of him during the week. I don't know if I would count that one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think
no.
that would
Well,
count either. Is that only
Tyrone
because of
Tyrone
his-
Ming? Is that Tyrone Ming?
Tyrone Mings?
Yeah, that is Tyrone Mings.
Is it Mings? Because it just has Ming written here.
No, it's Mings.
It's
Okay.
Mings.
Okay.
Alright, we'll give you
Is
it.
that Ashley Young? Is he still going?
Yeah, he only signed for them this year on a free
I thought
contract.
he'd be like 40. Oh. That's good
Alright.
to know.
Just before we continue, it's worth noting that we have now met
Yeah, past
Mike's
10. Yeah.
estimate of
Yes.
10
Get fucked,
without
Mike.
having hit City or Arsenal. I'm pretty sure you're going to pass my estimate of 12.
I'd hope so.
We'll see if we
I
get to
thought
your
this would
guess
be
of
more
15
difficult. I'm
last
actually
year.
surprised
I'm
that I
really
can.
yeah, it's a bit
Uh.
anticlimactic, to be honest.
It is, isn't
It
it?
is.
Yeah.
But I'm so
Alright,
happy.
hold on. Here comes one. I don't think you'll get one from Burnley.
I do hate Burnley. This one's going to need a team sheet as well. Look here at their lineup. Okay, I know that's not Hans Rodriguez because I've already used him.
You have.
Yes, Nick Pope. He's the goalkeeper.
He
Nick
is.
Yeah.
Pope. Was he? No, he wasn't at United at one point. Was he?
No,
Definitely recognize the name
Uh,
Nick Pope, but I have no idea what he's done.
no, he just went from Charlton to.
So hold on,
Burnley.
Oshie.
Was he on?
As
He was on
judge
the
here,
England team, wasn't
Does
it?
this count?
He recognized the name, but he doesn't know why.
Yeah.
Do we count that?
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Let me see if I can
count.
recognize any of the other ones. I don't think. No. No, he's the only one that even sounds vaguely familiar.
Or we'll put that in the outlier, and we'll leave
That's-
that for
yeah.
the viewers to decide. Do we
Yeah.
count it or not?
All right.
I have no idea why I recognize him. I mean, if we're going subs, I know Wayne Hennessy. He's
Ah,
Flip
but
Ireland.
We're not.
We're not going subs.
No.
Just yeah.
All right, Man City.
Also, did you say Wayne Hennessy used to play for Ireland?
Oh, Wales.
Yes.
Wales. Don't know why I said Ireland.
Yeah, I was trying to.
Oh, I
figure
think
that
I'm
out.
getting of what do you call it? Kieran Westbridge? Westwood?
Westwood.
I think I was getting him confused with him.
All right.
Okay, who plays for Man City? Oh, De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I was
said
like, this should be
Grealish
really
earlier
easy.
earlier
And
this
then,
year.
just come.
And-
I was trying to think of the wing back who was on my Euros
Yeah.
team. I know I had a Man City wing back. I could never remember the name of.
Mendy was, when you said Mendy, I thought you meant left back for City. Mendy. And I was like, no, and I completely forgot.
Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's the Chelsea goalkeeper.
Wolves.
Wolves. Oh, fuck. Because I know I looked at their team last year just to see how many Portuguese players they had, but that's about it. I can't think of any, so we're gonna have to have a gander here, see if there's any Portuguese names I remember.
That actually might be a tough one because they've got a couple of differences in their starting lineup from this week than they had last year.
Yeah.
I think I recognize one because I've heard of him when he was like a youngster. Connor Cody? Is that who that is?
Yeah,
Centre back,
Yep.
C. Cody. Is he Irish?
Yeah.
he's English.
Oh, because there's only Irish youngsters that I hear about, so I don't know why I would have heard of Connor Cody.
He was at Liverpool
I'll
for a
give you-
while, but I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bit far. But yeah,
Not
remember
since
hearing about him. He's young, isn't he?
2014.
Not
Yeah, he's
anymore.
28.
Do Wolves still have the? Were they the one who used to have the greased up forward?
Yep, he's
That's
still
the
there.
Traore.
Dama
Oh,
Traore.
I was looking for Traore and I now see Adama. Okay, that makes sense. 'Cause I'm pretty sure they were the one with greased up
That
forward,
was-
and I knew
that's-
I'd know the name.
I knew you'd know him. I was like, that's probably the most meme thing on that team. So
Yeah.
Keith would know.
They
Grease
tried
me
to
up,
trick me.
lunch lady.
Yes. I'd like to think they have one guy whose entire job is just to grease him up. Does nothing else.
I do enjoy that. They have that where he's greased himself up and he plays Wolves, and the Simpsons scene, it's him fighting Wolf. So is that Simpsons predicting Adama Traore?
How do they keep doing
It is at the end. You know when Willie shares the alcohol with the wolf and he has that's when that's them predicting it.
Make way for Willie.
It's worth noting that, seeing as how I pointed it out for Mike's, with 6 teams to go, you've met my estimation of 12.
Yeah, considering that the one team I looked at last week might be the only one that I can't do this for. But we haven't hit. Who else got promoted? Did we?
Watford was the other one, and you got Deeney.
Oh fuck! Right. Who do we have left?
No,
I'm very confident.
There's
of this
5 left. So
there's
Newcastle.
6 left.
I think Newcastle.
Oh,
will be a tough
Newcastle
one for
might
them.
actually be a tough one. Yeah, I
Don't
can't think
say
of any
Shearer.
straight away.
Don't think
Yeah, I'm
Shearer.
not that much of an idiot. He retired when I feel like they have an Irish lad. Yes, they do. Kieran Clark. Is that Kieran Clark? It's C. Clark.
It is, yeah. It's
All
Kieran
right,
Clark,
damn
yeah.
it.
I think. Oh no, they have John Joe Shelby as well. All right, I had a few. He was playing back in the
Southampton.
day.
He who shall not be named, John Joe Shelby.
Shane Long, is he there? Is he still Southampton? Probably not.
I don't think so. Was he not shipped that
He is. No,
championship?
he's still there.
Is he there?
Yep, he's still in the squad.
Was he playing?
He wasn't. I don't think he was playing. He was
No, but you named him, so
Bournemouth
at least
last year or
he's
the
there.
last season on
You
loan.
get it.
He counts.
Yo.
I think he counts.
Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal.
He was the player I have in my fan team who's I recognise that put him in. Aubameyang. Is that who I have?
I mean,
He's
it's not
still
who you
there.
have, but yeah, you're right about
Yeah,
that.
because
You have Lacazette, which I
Lacazette.
I
know
have
because I
Lacazette.
talked to you about him literally
Yeah.
yesterday.
I think I don't know why, but Aubameyang. He was proper. I
Yeah.
think he was playing back in the day when I used to watch.
Crystal Palace.
It's worth noting that before we hit the last 3, you've hit your own estimation of 15. You've three teams to go.
I did think I'd fuck up a few more than this, so
I'm impressed.
Crystal
So far-
Palace might be a tough one.
So
I'm gonna
far,
have a look at that
Burnley
team sheet
is
here.
your only dubious one.
I'm not
As
that's
thinking
fair,
for
that's
this,
fair.
but it's
Yes.
up to the listeners
It's
at
up,
home.
it's up to the listeners.
Oh yes, okay, Willie Zaha. He
Yeah.
was at United. I remember him as a youngster in United.
Yeah.
I think going back when I used to watch.
Okay,
I think he
Norwich.
was the only one. Oh, what's his face? Pookie.
Yep,
Yeah,
knew you were
Oh,
going.
boys
and then
are doing it.
Leeds.
Did we really literally just get the one team that I didn't know last week?
Yeah,
And then Leeds.
Leeds. Yeah. So, all right, I'm not going to guess Paddy Bamford because that would be too easy. Let me see if I know anyone else in the Leeds team. because I feel like that was just Ushin hated him so much last year.
I feel like that's the only one you would get.
Possibly.
I don't think he'd know much others.
Yeah, fair. I will.
I have
count.
one.
Oh, go on. Who?
Who?
Stuart Dallas. Is that the left back?
It
See
is,
S.
yeah.
Dallas and
How
Stuart
do
was
you
the name.
know
I
Dallas?
have no idea.
So
I've
that
probably
doesn't
read
count.
it once.
He's Northern
Yeah.
Irish.
That
Ironically, he was at Brentford for a while.
actually- He's not when I needed him to be.
No, he was at Brentford up until
All right.
20.
Next week we're gonna
13,
do
so-
championship teams with.
Oh, that would be a shit show.
Yeah, I have to say this segment was very
That was-
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
It was.
It
wasn't I
was.
was
You got
surprised.
18.
I thought I'd get. I thought I'd
Okay,
miss 3 or 4.
how about here we go. How about this? Oh shoot, to redeem it, right?
Right.
Next week he's got to name the managers.
I think it actually managers to be okay because people talk about them so much. There would be a couple I wouldn't know.
But you can't read. So if we do it next week and you do managers, it'll have to be. There'll be no look at teams you don't
Well, hold
name.
on,
You'll
hold
just
on.
have to
How
say.
many
Oh,
managers
just
could you
guess the
name
managers.
straight off the bat right now?
all right.
In the Premier League.
I can
Okay.
describe people. I'm not great with names, but I can describe people. Like I know we just talked with Arsenal, Arteta, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going through them in order, in alphabetical order. Villa. John Terry, is he still there?
No,
He's
wasn't the
he left?
manager. And it wasn't the manager.
He also wasn't a manager, but he left during the.
No, it's not Lampard. No, he wasn't managing Villa. Is it? Oh fuck! This is actually but this is going to be difficult. Brentford.
This is the show.
I think that this is the show we should have. Brentford. Oh fuck. Fuck.
Nope.
I just
Oh
give up
fuck! Is
straight
not
off
the
the
name.
bat, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I'm just like Brighton. Oh, do they have someone from like the West Country with a really weird accent? I can picture a man.
I don't know.
He's got like a hot fuzz accent. Everyone's carrying guns around here.
I have no idea, to be honest. I can't remember the last time I heard him in an interview.
That's what I was trying to think. I'm
that's
trying to
right.
hear a bit of an interview, but
I want to
I
say
know
the
the
name and
name.
see if you recognize it. It's
Yeah.
Graham Potter.
Yeah, he was at Stoke back in the day, wasn't he?
No, he was at Swansea.
no.
Okay, I think I'm thinking of Stoke as the Potters. I think that's
Yeah, that's where you're
possible.
that
getting.
might
You're
be
thinking.
where I'm getting it.
He was
yeah,
also at
yeah.
Ostersons, if you know, just
Nah, yeah.
maybe
Right, so
that's
which
where
one
you
was
know
that
it
that we
from.
did? That was
That was
Brighton.
Brighton, yeah.
Brighton.
Burnley have no fucking idea.
Really?
Sean Dyche.
Sean Dyche eats worms.
Oh, okay. I do know Sean Dyche. The ginger fellow with like
Yeah.
weird no hair. I do
Yeah.
know Sean Dyche.
Jeez.
Chelsea, and I did know this, but it's in my head because I think I just read about him, but I would have known him. It's Thomas. Is it Tuchel?
Tuchel, yeah. Thomas Tuchel.
Tuchel.
I've never heard anyone say it. I've just seen it written down.
He's German.
I didn't know that.
Classic Tuchel.
Tuchel. Tuchel.
All right, Palace. No.
That's fair because their
I
manager
think you
changed
would-
over the.
Yeah, I think you know him, but you don't know that
No,
it's
but you
just
don't
been
know. He's,
appointed.
yeah, it's Patrick Vieira.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh, I
Yeah.
did hear about that. I remember him now.
Replaced Roy
Okay.
Hodgson when he retired.
Yes.
Yes.
He retired. Oh,
did, yeah.
Yeah.
Big Roy.
Took him long
not
enough.
so big. Yeah. That was always the issue with they just kind of regurgitated English managers into looking death in there. All right, Everton. Yes. What's his face? Benitez.
Ah, yes. What's his face? We'll give you that
Yes.
What's his face? Yeah. All right, Leeds. Definitely heard this one. They have the new lad. Not the new lad, but
Not-
the Bielsa?
Yeah.
Benicia?
one.
Okay.
Yeah. Bielsa. That was
Leicester
the first time.
City. Do they still have the one they won the league with?
No.
Oh fuck! I thought that was a guarantee.
That was.
He's long gone.
Jeez, that's a few managers ago.
I just assumed they'd still have him. Fuck.
Wasn't he sacked the season after?
He was. I
Possibly,
believe,
I have
yeah.
no idea. All right, wait.
Yeah.
So who do they have now then?
Brendan Rodgers.
Brendan Rodgers.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. Brendan Rodgers was on the go, and we definitely. I'm gonna try and score this afterwards. I'm gonna listen back to this. I'm gonna get a point for all the ones I know, and then like I don't know half a point or like quarter of a point for ones that I can remember. Like that I know why. Like Brendan
Yeah, okay.
Rodgers, he's Northern Irish, isn't he? He
He
was
is,
like
yeah.
well on the go, and
Yeah.
I was listening. All right, Liverpool, flop.
Yep.
Yeah.
The big man.
City, Mancini.
No.
Fuck. I definitely should know this one.
You should
You
definitely
really
know
should.
this
Oh,
one.
oh. Yeah, I did. The Barcelona lad. Pep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I pictured that. I think Mancini's probably gotten a use, but I don't know why that was in my head. All right, I
Mancini's
know
over
this
at the
one.
Italian team at the moment.
And he was the classiest international manager of all time.
Yeah.
All right, United. Yeah, Ole's still there, isn't he? He did.
Yeah,
something
Ollie's
with
at the wheel.
Newcastle. I feel like I've heard this one recently. No, all right, you're gonna have to give me the Newcastle one. I can't
Broken
think of it.
nose.
What was a broken nose?
Steve Bruce.
Steve Bruce.
Did he break his nose?
I'm not sure what the broken nose thing is either.
Have you not seen his nose has been? Oh, he had a horrible injury to the nose, and it's all slanted.
I've
Crooked. You
never
ever look at his
noticed.
nose?
I think mostly when I've watched he was always like the Birmingham manager for ages, wasn't he? Steve Bruce. I
He
think
was
associated with
good.
Birmingham
Yeah,
in my
he
head.
was. Yeah,
He's gotten around, I
he was
believe.
at. He was at
That makes
Birmingham when
sense.
you watch football. I'd say.
Oh yeah. Norwich. I want to say Delia Smith.
No.
She could put herself in charge. That would be a cracking team.
That would be a cracking.
Yeah.
I like. Yeah, that's very fair.
Nah, unfortunately, it's not.
Yeah, I'm
It's a
gonna need
German.
some help on this. Oh fuck, yeah, I'm
It's a
gonna need
German. Yeah,
Daniel
I don't
Fark.
think you're not.
Daniel, what?
Fark.
Bark.
No, not a chance. That does not sound familiar in the slightest. Southampton. Yeah. Do I know Southampton? Should I know Southampton?
I don't know.
I feel it's going to be one of these old English managers that they just
Not
regurgitate.
English.
It's not.
Oh, it's not English.
I don't think you'll know.
I
No,
don't think
give
you'll
it to
know
me.
either. Ralph Hasenhüttl.
No. Oh, I remember reading this when I was looking at the Premier League team and thinking it was one of the greatest names I've ever heard in my life, but I had
Ralph?
no idea who he was. No, Hasenhüttl. Do you love Ralph though? Ralph is
Ralph's a
is solid.
fantastic name.
Spurs have a fellow whose name I can't remember, but I have
The Holy
recently,
Spirit.
I have recently figured out that he has a much easier name to remember. Is it Nuno or Nuno or
Nuno.
Nuno?
Nuno
I just-
Espirito Santo.
I just love him so much because of all the Portuguese memes.
That's very fair.
I feel like I'm going to struggle with the last three though. I'm going to need who's Watford?
Watford is.
I don't
Who's
even
Watford?
know at the
Hold
moment.
on, I have it here. I have it here. Cisco. Xisco. I don't know him
I
at
feel like
all.
there was a player called Cisco when I used to watch.
Yes, it's not the same. I don't think it's the same.
No, when I just looked it up there was Cisco football manager, and then the next one was Cisco football player.
Yeah, fair. Yes, he. No, the Watford manager was manager of Dynamo Tbilisi from August 2020 to December 2020, and then became Watford manager from December 2020.
Jesus. Yeah, no.
It's very new
That's
to the
it.
game.
Okay, West Ham. Let me think. No, I want to say Alan Pardew, just because I
No.
want to say.
No, but you
Who-
do know him.
Do I?
David
Rob
Moyes.
David.
David Moyes.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about him recently actually,
Why?
because I wanted to know where he was, and then
Oh,
just didn't bother
fair.
to look it up.
There
But I
you go.
love that when he was in charge of United, his daughter got so much abuse on Twitter because he doesn't have a Twitter, and people wanted to give out to someone.
Yes,
So
I
she was
heard
the
about
next best
this.
thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking shit show.
The only
Like-
thing I heard about David Moyes' daughter was Zaha was allegedly sleeping with her, and that's what caused him to leave United.
That's a bold
I-
move if that's true.
I mean, I feel like you hear those rumors about a lot of different situations where players leave. So I don't know how true
Managers,
it actually is.
managers in decent relationships with their physios.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. All right, last one. Wolves. Who replaced Nuno? Nuno.
Bruno
Then I
Laga.
think
I
Bruno what?
Laga, I
Laga.
think his name is. He's Portuguese again.
Oh,
LAGE.
fucking
He
God.
came from Benfica.
Yeah, no, that's another not a chance.
All right,
Well, that was
I'll be
definitely the
honest.
better one.
That was the
but,
better one, but I didn't keep score.
You missed,
Yeah.
Aston
I
Villa manager
did
is
miss a
Dean
few.
Smith.
Oh,
Not
we
John Terry.
forgot to go from the start.
Yes.
Dean Smith. Yeah, no. Never that sounds like a regen character that they just gave up on names for.
Pretty sure we did discuss that.
Did
But
we?
I'm not 100%. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
not a-
Yeah, I remember
No.
him guessing Aston Villa because he said John
Yes,
Terry.
but
Oh
no,
yeah,
I
he said
think
Terry, but we never said
we
the
just
manager's
we
name.
started
I
from
thought we
Brentford
had.
or
That's
Brighton.
my bad.
We definitely didn't do. They got Arsenal, and then Villa. I think we just missed, and then started with the new rules from I think Brentford, maybe Brighton.
Yeah.
Fair. Actually, yes, that makes sense because I don't remember saying the Brentford manager's name.
Who's the Brentford manager?
Oh, I can't remember his name now. Do you want me to
For
I'll
fuck's
look it
sake.
up again? I had it in front of me like 2 seconds ago. All right, hold on. I'm getting it.
Oh fuck.
Let's be frank about it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. No.
He does look like the most continental manager I've ever seen in my life, though.
He
I will
does,
give
doesn't he?
Thomas Frank that. Yeah.
He's
Like if you say they just got a continental manager and that's the stock photo.
I
have
mean,
in my head.
he's Danish, so technically you are correct.
Yeah, but it's impressive to look that continental. Kind of like how if you picture an Italian manager without any other descriptions, you pick Mancini because he's the most Italian looking man I've ever seen in my life.
he is extremely Italian.
I don't know.
I think he's very.
Sarri is classic old age Italian man. I think Maurizio Sarri.
Okay, and another one, right? Because this was coming up on I looked up Brentford manager, and this is one of the buttons. Dean Smith, who we were just talking about.
Yeah.
He looks like the most proper English Northerner I've ever seen in my life. Like just some lad down the pub who's asked does he want to manage the local 11-a-side team because they didn't have anyone else.
Just one of the dads. That's just how I'll do it.
He just to make up the numbers. They didn't have enough players down to watch the kids, so they needed one of the dads to make up the numbers.
You're not wrong. All right.
I heard he put his
if
own
you do
son.
score that yourself, let us know
Let
what
us
you
know
got.
next week.
Yeah, let us know
I will.
next week what
I
you
will.
got. What score you got.
That would be it. I feel like I will get far better at this because I probably somewhat pay attention to the Premier League now. Not a lot. Like I'm not watching anything, but just
I mean, I like to think
storylines.
by listening to the show and actually following, you'll learn a lot.
What do you mean
Yeah.
listening to it? I mean being on it.
Well, like, oh
Keep
shit, how many
following
times have
along.
you gone? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention there.
He's got a point.
But I don't. Have I done it on the show?
Oh,
No,
you
I know
have.
I do it when I talk.
There
to you
was-
sometimes, but I don't
No,
know if
definitely done it on the show recently. I'm pretty sure.
fair. Actually,
Depends on the
Judge, you're
subject. So,
probably
like,
right.
when you
Oh, you
talk
definitely did it last
GA,
week.
I tend to shut off.
Well, we don't really talk GA, but
No, but if you do, that's what I would go. I
Fair.
have no input here.
fair. Kind of like after we did the draft on whatever day we did it, Friday or
Yes.
Thursday, and then you just sat there and had like a half-hour conversation of football. I was like, I have nothing to contribute to this. Just sat there, just listened. I was like, all right, yeah, that sounds fair. Yeah.
Soak up the information.
No, just going, yeah.
That's
yeah,
not
mhm.
true. You told us the time you always got set off.
I did, didn't
Yeah,
I?
you
But
did.
this is after a
That's
half
true.
an hour of listening.
Yeah, there was
I'm not gonna lie.
a lot of.
I completely forgot you were in the conversation till you when you said, it, "Oh, Dean's still here."
Yeah, I should have just left and no one would have realized.
All right.
Alright.
Let's move on
Right.
Yes.
to what we were going to discuss it last week, but last week ran a bit long, so we've pushed it to this week. It's everyone's favorite topic: financial regulations in La Liga, which is actually quite an interesting topic. I don't know if you guys did any research on this at all.
I was
Oh.
gonna, but then I thought it would make for better if you did the research and then I/Mike would just comment on things as opposed to all of us just being
Keith,
experts on it.
I'm
Yes.
glad you brought that up because that's exactly my thought process over the weekend.
Oh shit! Wait, you guys didn't do any research either. That was my thought process.
Oh yeah, because you definitely haven't mentioned your page of notes.
Yeah, I don't have a page of notes sitting here with me. No, that's
I mean,
actually quite interesting though. To
I
be
am
fair.
very, very happy to just make it up as I go along. If,
I'm
if
also
we're going down this.
slightly offended because I did send you guys that article on the Athletic like weeks
Which
ago.
I do still plan on reading. But
No,
I've
you
been busy.
don't.
I genuinely do.
It is actually
Well,
quite
I-
interesting in my opinion, but
I
So
assume
the-
we would make for better content having not read it.
that's fair.
Less. knowledgeable.
That's fair. It'll be interesting to hear your inputs, having known nothing
Exactly.
about it. So, I first off before we go into it, just like to shout out The Athletic, which is where I got a lot of my information from. They had a really good article by Dermot
Insert
Corrigan.
sponsor
I
here.
wish. On the 7th of July, if anyone's going looking for it, where he went into Barcelona's situation at the time. This was before Messi had left and when they were still trying to re-sign him. And it was a really interesting look then into La Liga's financial regulations, which were set up in 2013, essentially to stop. I think they had a number of teams, I can't remember exactly which ones, but a number of teams kind of spend big in order to gain success in the hope that success would bring in money that they could use to pay off any debts they made when they were spending to get big. And then that success just never came. And the clubs just had to go into administration and it was a bit of a mess. So they set up these financial regulations in 2013.
And is that in Spain or is that European wide, like regulations in 2013?
Just in Spain, just La Liga's
Okay.
ones. I'm not sure what year Financial Fair Play UEFA's attempt.
That wouldn't have been far behind.
No,
the
it would have
first
been.
one,
I think
don't
it was around the same time, but it was just.
Yeah.
It had it like it. The difference, the main difference, I believe, is that Spain's ones look at both past, like your results in the past and your projections for the future, and then set a limit. Whereas Financial Fair Play looks at what you've done in the past and goes, all right, we're going to fine you for that because you shouldn't have done that. Whereas the Liga goes, all right, you're not able to do that because it would push you over the limit, so we're just not going to let you do it.
But I assume Financial Fair Play has some kind of rules, and they don't just kind of go, all right, you definitely should not have been allowed to do that. Like
no, yeah, it has rules. It has it has some rules.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what they are.
Because that's like the
based
best kind of way to run it is just let people do whatever, and then a year later go, no, we should not have let you do that. We're going to fine you now.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
And then apparently because of, this is off topic completely, but because of COVID, they relaxed the Financial Fair Play rules.
The rules
so that
which
you can't
allowed
be
which City and PSG have taken
so they can't
much
punish
advantage
them
out of.
for the next couple of years, in order to let teams kind of get back to where they were before COVID, which is a fucking shit show. Because like Mike says, some teams are taking advantage of it to an entirely just insane level. But anyway, that's a topic for a whole other time. So La Liga's one is set up based on factors. So they look at your expected revenue for the season, your profit and loss from the previous year, your overhead costs on your non-player contracts, any current savings the club have, any existing debt repayments they have to make, any investments they have, and any sources of external financing, like which I believe is just like sponsorships and any other internal investment into the club from outside. So using all those factors, they set a squad cost limit, which is slightly similar to, I suppose, in a way it's similar to the NFL salary cap, except it's different for each team in La Liga based on those.
So when you say like squad cost limit, that the cost implying being their salary and not how much it costs to buy them, because for some reason that's where my head went first.
Both. It actually covers
both.
So the limit covers the transfers for first team players, which are amortized over the length of their contracts. So, for example, like Barcelona bought Coutinho for what was 140 million? 120 million.
1.5 million.
So let's say 120 million. So that amount is amortized over the cost of his contract. So this year, 20 million worth of that is still going towards their salary cap, their salary limit.
All right. Okay, I get you. Yeah,
I get you.
So it also covers then their first team coach, so their manager, assistant coach, head physio, reserve team, academy, and their starting team, their registered players.
So there's
Apparently,
staff included in it.
some staff, from what
That's
I read,
actually
it's not all
interesting.
staff.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, to be honest.
I don't know, because I think managers so specialized that if you are better, you should be paid more without it kind of hindering your team, because it's not
Surely it's a
part of the team.
similar argument with players, so that obviously if you're a better player, you should be
Yeah.
paid more. But then it comes down to each team's decision on where they want to put the money.
Yeah,
And obviously, the bigger teams where the bigger managers would have a higher expected revenue, a higher profit.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
they'd have a
suppose,
higher
yeah.
limit.
Yeah,
So it's essentially to just keep each club living within its means.
it would actually be interesting to see what the difference is in from your newly promoted teams, the likes of your Real Madrid, your Barcelona. Like, I assume the
guess-
gap is drastic.
Yeah.
I would assume so. I know Barcelona in the 1920 season, their limit was 671 million apparently. And then last year it was pretty much halved to 347 million just because of the shit show that is Barcelona and all the debt repayments they have to make.
Oh, fair. So, yeah, because I did hear something that it was. Now this could be wrong, but it was because of a lot of their losses. They didn't make anywhere near as much profits because of COVID. That was one of the reasons that they couldn't hold on to Messi. But I don't know how much truth there is to that was.
Well, I think
part
there
of
was
the
a lot of misinformation around that. I have actually seen also that a number of people said they actually weren't that bad after COVID, and a lot of it is down to just the complete ineptitude of the last board.
Oh, fair.
So, like,
yeah.
For example, like, I was looking at this earlier today. Laporta, the current Barcelona president, had a press conference. I think it was today or yesterday, possibly. But one of the things he mentioned was that the previous board was hiring someone to discover talents in South America, and this person was charging 8 million euros, which is just an insane amount of money. Like, it makes no sense.
So how much did you say Barcelona have? Because I'm looking at something here. You said that is it 700 million?
There was 671 million in 1920. 347 last year, and it was reported that it was going to be like about 160 billion this year, but I don't know. That's unconfirmed.
Yeah, right.
So that might not be the correct amount.
Okay, yeah, because there does seem to be. It must be last year's one that I've got here. No, this is 2020, 21.
Yeah, so that'd be for last season.
Yes, and yeah, like most teams are kind of similar, but then there's a few that just have like 4 million, 5 million for like half the season, which makes sense. But that's such a massive gap then from like Madrid, who got 473 million to end the last season.
Yeah,
compared
it's
with
absolutely insane.
Malaga, who've got 2.9 billion.
But I suppose that's the point of it, is to make sure that Malaga don't just go and spend, 100 million that they don't have.
I was thinking about this because obviously it's so much harder to do this in soccer than it is in your American leagues, where it's very popular. Because one of the big things is kind of if you do have like a hard set limit. Well, you can't have a hard set limit for like a team then that gets relegated who've got like hit their max, but then obviously teams in the second division probably don't have it like a lower max, and then that just kind of fucks everything up. So it doesn't make sense on the limit, like when you think about it, and then teams have different limits. But when you look at soccer as a sport and the fact there's so many different leagues, they can't have everyone have the same thing. So it's probably done correct to have it like. They need to do something, and honestly, this probably is one of the better ways to do it, to limit it, depending on how they do. I am interested to know how they work out projections, and if that's a big part of it, because that seems weird.
I assume it's based on prior years, and it's done on an analytic as opposed to just one club going.
One lad going, no, fuck Real Betis, y'all are gonna go 0-38 next year. Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. I think apparently UEFA are planning on bringing something in like this soon, but I don't know.
Mm.
I think it's gotten to a point where it's very difficult to bring it in. You
Yeah.
have the big clubs try and fight it.
Oh, completely. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't
Like,
know. It's a very strange one.
because like money really has like it's insane. Some of the teams, because like one of the things that I genuinely think is better for the sport, which once again you can't do in soccer, but it's done in American sports, is that like you can see over the years, players get traded for money, but players getting traded for other players or for like the quote unquote draft pick, where there's no
Yeah.
monetary attachment, so that there's no inflation involved. It's kind of the same year in year out. Versus it seems like now every summer there's like a massive 150 million transfer madness, and like when you put that kind of money into perspective,
Uh,
it's
you're
insane.
like, what was it? Only 20 years ago, the most expensive person in the world was only 50 million.
Yeah, like when was it? Zidane went for
Was
50
50
million,
million.
and that was mind blowing. And now
Yeah,
50 million gets you. Is it who's the meme? Ben White. Ben White
Ben
go for
White.
50
Yeah,
million.
Yeah.
Ben White's. And even 10 years ago, Fernando Torres was 50 million.
Oh yeah, who was it? Was it Ronaldo? Was the first one to break 100 million?
Ronaldo didn't break. He was still 80, wasn't
He may have been 80 actually.
Possibly, I'm not
he?
sure.
I think Neymar was the first.
Oh, it could have been. Yeah, yeah.
Then
I
Barcelona
was
broke it twice.
thinking about this, and would there be, because like even within top flight leagues, if they want to even out the Champions League, you can't hold all the top flight leagues to the same standard. But if you had like tiered, so you'd have like your top five leagues, then like your mid tier leagues, kind of like the Dutch league and stuff like that, who still have good leagues. But I don't know. I still don't think like you would like teams like PSG are never gonna let that happen to like restrict Champions League football. I think there's too much power in the money to like. It's been going on for too long now. I think
If we're
that's
talking
it.
about in euros, transfer fees in euros, then
Yes.
Gareth Bale was the first player to break 100 million. He went for 100.8 million euros in 2013.
Okay.
But
I
like
think he went
looking at
that much.
I have a list here of like the most expensive football players, and I believe it's up to date because it's got Lukaku and Grealish here as well.
Okay.
So if you look at it, like 2013 is the first time a cost was over 100 million. Then you've got Neymar in 2017, and then so Neymar's in 2017, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the remaining 9 top 10 are after Neymar's transfer.
Yeah.
So who
So
is the most expensive then? Who was that? Was
Neymar.
Neymar for 222 million.
that fuck? I did so much monies.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that completely reset the transfer market for years. Like prior to that, there was two players over 100 million euro, and that was Gareth Bale and Paul Pogba, and they're now the two lowest in the top 10.
Jesus.
Like it's
What are you
absolutely insane.
That was the beginning of the end for Barcelona, that Neymar transfer.
All right.
Yes,
I-
it was, which is another thing Laporte said in his interview today, which is very interesting.
What did he say? I didn't
Hypothetical
really
question.
Go on.
No. Okay, you can finish talking about your
No, because
No,
this
no,
might
work
go
away,
on.
work away.
Yeah,
Okay.
you tell us the hypothetical.
hypothetical question. In the next 10 years, will we see our first player going for £1 billion?
No, I don't think a
I
billion.
don't think a billion.
Not a 10.
I think it's definitely on its way up, though.
I mean,
I
we've
say
gone
in
from
the
100
next-
million to 200 million
I
in
say in the
what,
next.
2 years. Well,
No,
8 years,
because
I
It's,
you're in
suppose.
it's worth pointing
you're-
out that Neymar was 222. The second highest then is Mbappe
Coutinho? Is it Mbappe?
for 145 million plus 35 million in add-ons.
Oh,
The
I was
other
gonna
thing,
say,
it's also
yeah.
worth noting that was the same year Neymar. That was also 2017, and both went to PSG, which is
Well.
fucking mental.
Also,
It's-
something I realized which I
Go on.
never realized when I watched football, and I always thought that is that they're not always. I always just thought that they were paid at once. Like, you're in the shop buying a fucking bag of chips, and they're like they just paid that amount right away. Did
It's
not
an
realize that
installment.
a lot of this is installments. I've only recently learned this. Makes so much more sense.
Yeah,
And you
they're
think-
often
yeah.
sold then as well, the receivables to outside third parties.
The other thing they do now, I also notice, is it's also a lot of its what's the word? Not benefit, requirements. Like, they play a certain amount of games, you'll get this amount add-ons and stuff. To make
Yeah,
it
but
sound
Yeah.
I
better.
find that's often like quoted separately. Like they usually specify
Yeah.
how much is the guaranteed amount and then how much in add-ons. So
I
like
will
the talk for Harry Kane, what City are reportedly offering now is 120 million and then another 20 million in add-ons.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, insane, but also if you're paying 100 million for Jack Grealish, Harry Kane is definitely worth more than 20 million more than him. But that's a whole separate topic again.
That is also. It is interesting noting while we're at it and transfers, I think, that I don't think will pass Neymar one the next few years, as the two hottest commodities in football at the moment are Mbappe and Haaland.
Yeah.
Mbappe is allegedly not signing a contract and is up at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And Haaland has his release clause next year at 70 million.
Yeah, it's very interesting then to see.
Yeah.
75 million wouldn't even crack the top
Anything.
20. It'd put him 28 on this list.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
Yeah,
only
that's
20 more. It's only 20 more than Ben White.
Yeah, that's insane, isn't it?
No, right. Do we know how do release clauses work with, like, because obviously Haaland is, from what I hear, good at the game of football.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
He's
if
decent,
four or
I'd say.
Yeah.
like,
He's
you
alright.
wouldn't kick him out of your Sunday league team. is
Oh,
what I'm
definitely
saying.
not.
No,
So-
no.
So if 4 or 5 teams go in for him,
Yeah.
would they start a bidding war, or would they all just put in the release clause and then he picks who he wants?
They'd all
He
put in
picks
the
who he
release
wa-
clause and
Yeah.
he picks who he wants.
Yeah.
They won't
Oh.
have to offer anything higher than the release clause.
Yeah.
Like, it was the famous one was Luis Suarez Arsenal incident.
Oh, that's a classic.
Well, I don't even remember this. Did
They-
he bite someone?
He reportedly had a
Suarez-
release clause for 40 million,
40
which I
million.
believe was false in the end, but Arsenal were given false information. So Arsenal were told he has a release clause of 40 million
40 million.
and offered 40 million and £1.
I'm surprised I haven't heard about that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
The ironic thing
that-
about that is, if he had a release clause, they wouldn't have had to offer the extra £1.
Yeah.
The 40 million would have let them talk to him.
Joke's on you. We got an extra pound.
Yeah.
Who's eating now?
Who's the idiot now? It's kind of like that time. I'm pretty sure Chelsea was sold for like a quid in like the 1950s or something like that. I love that. I think that does happen regularly though with businesses when someone's buying it out, like out of liquidation or whatever, they need to have a cost. So they're just like, here's £1. All right,
Yeah.
here you go. It's yours
Yeah.
now. Well, I did
Well, that's
enjoy
like
Was it not?
completely unfootball related.
Yeah.
It's the US office actually. I'm gonna bring that up now because it just relates back to your point about having to have something. So, John Krasinski actually filmed the footage for the opening for the US office on like a trip to Scranton just to see what it was like, and went to give it to Greg Daniels, the showrunner, and he said, "No, I have to buy it off you," and bought it for like £100. So
I
he
thought you were
could
gonna
have
say he
made
gave him like a Big Mac or something.
no, but
Yeah.
he could have made fucking like huge money off royalties.
That's actually insane. Yeah, he would have.
I think while we're on this,
I mean, I think he did all right on
Sorry.
the.
Yeah,
I
he
think
did fine.
I think the alleged story was that Arsenal were told that the release clause had to be over 40 million.
Ah,
So that's
right.
why they paid the extra pound.
That
So
makes,
that's
that makes
technically-
sense.
It's why it's technically over 40 million.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
30 million and £1. Absolute
Go ahead.
top class shithousery.
It really was.
Yeah. But yeah, Barcelona, when Neymar went, they just went crazy spending money. I'm just
Yeah,
looking
they
at a
really did.
list
I
of
mean, they bought
players.
Dembele for 140 million, was it, or something like that?
121 for the same
Okay.
amount for Coutinho. They bought the Bele in the summer transfer window, and then 6 months later, bought Coutinho for the exact same fee.
And
Okay,
then
hang
bought
on, just-
Griezmann shortly afterwards.
The numbers that
Yeah.
we're working with here, what you were saying is that, did you say that Barcelona, if I remember correctly, their allowance, if you will, got half 2 years in a row, didn't it? Am I thinking about that correctly?
It went from 670 to 340, and then to reportedly 160. So yeah, halved each time.
So, because obviously they, if it's linked to a lot of like the success that they have and the money that they're taking in, like that's a big jump that I don't know. Like maybe there's a bit of mismanagement, but should there be a cap so that they can have a worst case scenario? This is how much money, because it must be hard to try and work out a contract when you don't really know what you're working with next year, and you could actually fuck yourself, and all of a sudden you've half a budget. Should
Yeah,
there
but I
be
think
like
it
a
also
lower like?
it really does come down to mismanagement though, because Barcelona apparently have their salary represents 103% of the club's total income.
Yeah.
Like, that's just poor
Mhm.
management. According to
Fair. So
Laporta
you wouldn't be
today in
down for
their
like a percentage of next year. At worst, will be 80% of this year, or
no,
70%.
I think if they had been managed properly, it would have been fine. Like Laporta in his press conference today said that Barcelona apparently have a negative net worth of 451 million euros, which is insane for such a huge club, and that their sports payroll is 617 million, which is between 25% and 30% more than their competitors. Like,
And
there's no reason for it to be that much higher than their competitors other than mismanagement, in my opinion.
like, am I right in thinking? I think I read about this, that most Spanish teams don't have owners. They have like they're owned by like the fans, and the fans pay
Yeah.
X
it's
amount
a
a
vote.
year. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a
for their
vote on
like their
who the
main
president is.
capital. Yeah, which I think is actually the way most football should be done. That would be cool without, because I think owners are responsible
I
for
like the German model. I think is the one
The
we should
50
be.
plus
which one?
Yeah, 50+1.
I remember reading about this, but isn't there like a flaw that let Red Bull buy Leipzig because of the 50+1? That there's a weird flaw in it.
I think it's essentially that they own Leipzig because I think it's their employees hold
Yeah.
a ton of shares.
Yeah,
So
I can't
essentially,
remember.
they
I
just got
remember reading about
employees of
this.
Red Bull
Yeah,
to buy shares in Leipzig until they own
they
over
own the whole
50%.
thing.
So even
Yeah,
though the
I suppose
shares are
most.
owned by individuals,
Yeah.
now I don't
They're
know how
they're
exactly it
they're
works
yeah.
because I know
The
But
50+1 one
yeah,
is
but
interesting.
I know in like
RB
some countries there's a related
an
parties
outlier
rule,
because
but I
they're
don't know.
very unpopular in Germany because of this.
Yeah.
I'd say they're very popular in Leipzig though, because weren't they
Yeah,
like a
I'd
shit
say
team before it?
Yeah.
they were, yeah.
They weren't the team
Their
a few years ago.
the main issue
Well,
with
no,
people in
they
Germany is that they see them as having bought themselves into, the
Existence.
Bundesliga and
yeah.
success as opposed to worked for it, which is fair.
Like it is, but then again, I think the Bundesliga has a pressing issue than most. Maybe you could include France in this as being a one-team league.
I would
wouldn't-
argue with France
yeah.
because Leo won.
That's
The
that's what I was
league.
saying. That Liga won last year, but they
No,
I
Monaco
assume
won a few
PSG
years
are-
ago.
Monaco
Monaco
PSG
Monaco
not
won in
dominant.
2017, and then PSG bought Mbappe for 145 million. And
The
Neymar
problem-
went
the
to
problem-
Atletico, so
That's
Monaco
it.
didn't compete again.
Yeah, the problem is that if one of those teams in the French league does well, teams just stripped for organs. Like that
Wait.
Monaco team was decimated. We took Fabinho, Chelsea took Bakayoko,
Goran
and
Pandev play for Lille?
I
Uh,
don't think so.
No,
Inter
he
Milan.
played
Not
in
this
Italy,
year.
didn't he?
Yeah, he's in
Inter
No,
Milan.
okay, I don't know why in my head he played for Lille. Has somebody? Don't they have a forward, a
Fernando
talismanic
Sanchez.
weirdo? I don't know.
Oh,
Never
you're
mind.
thinking the Turkish guy.
Oh,
Yes,
guy.
Burak
that's
Yilmaz,
where I'm
Yes.
getting
the
my
massive
mind mixed up.
letdown at the Euros.
Yeah.
Biggest, never been catfished bigger in my life.
I would argue slightly about the Bundesliga being a one team league, just because like Dortmund and Leipzig both compete. Like it's less of a one team league than the French league, in my opinion. I would argue. Like
When is the last but I think Borussia Dortmund have won it in the last couple of years. But
Klopp
haven't
was the last Dortmund win. Was under Klopp.
trying to think about
I think
this,
I think Dortmund were the last team to win the Bundesliga. Ocean.
so they
They're the
must have
Bayern.
yeah, but they between
compete, but they
themselves,
just
they
lose.
compete a lot more than between
Yeah,
themselves.
Borussia
and what's his
Dortmund with
face,
Klopp.
Leipzig.
Yeah, 11, 12.
I think
We're the
They
last.
compete a lot more than
Yeah.
the French.
Oh, well, to be fair, Borussia Dortmund did go back to back the last time somebody did, other
Yeah.
than Bayern did win. So.
Unfortunately, the problem is the German league is Bayern are just like, all right, any player that anywhere decent will take, even if it's a main rival, they somehow manage to get them.
Yeah.
That would never happen in England. You know, it's almost happening with Kane, but that's a different story. I wouldn't say Spurs are
you
the
have
top
options
3 teams.
in England, but in Germany, if you're a young German kid, there's a very distinct best team. But like you could make that argument maybe with City, but I think the gap is obviously less in England.
I think the issue though with just because we were talking with the 50+1 rule in Germany, the issue then is that the German clubs have been left behind money wise when compared to, the likes of the Premier League clubs or La Liga.
Yeah.
They just can't afford to compete essentially.
Yeah,
that's
but
fair.
We've seen times before. You don't have to spend a lot to do a lot. Like, was only a year ago, Bayern were the best team in the country, in the world. They were unstoppable.
I remember that being a thing recently.
And then Liverpool, we talked about them a lot. They're not competing. They can't compete financially with some of the clubs, but they compete pretty well because they spend smart.
Yeah. Like one of the things that kind of a part of this is that obviously, myself included, but a lot of my friends, my local friends, will be big Celtic fans.
Yeah.
And they all celebrated a hell of a ton when Rangers went into, liquidation and got sent down to the League Two. And I was like, this kills Scottish football and Celtic from ever doing anything in Europe. And they're like, yeah, but it's, it's good for Celtic. I was like, it's not. It's terrible. It will literally kill the Scottish League to not have someone who can compete with Celtic.
It was good for Celtic if all they cared about was
winning
the Scottish Premier League over and over again, and not about European football or anything.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time Celtic were in the Champions League.
And like you look back
group stages, just
in like the early 2000s, Celtic were in the group stages every year and had a couple of good nights where, like, I remember them beating Barcelona, beating United, maybe. Yeah. It's gone downhill for Scotland from there.
And then Rangers did the same. It went out poor fashion this year.
I don't actually remember the.
That was just before Ocean's time, Keane.
What?
I don't think Ocean remembers the Celtic being Barcelona or being in the Champions League.
No.
I think we found our age. He's too young.
Before his time.
I'm trying to find when the last time Celtic were in the group stage of the Champions League for you. 17-18.
Oh.
Really?
Yes, they.
That is
that the last
like
time?
4 years ago.
League?
That's a
yes, 17-18. They were in a group with PSG, Bayern Munich, and Anderlecht. They finished third, dropping down to Europa League, where they lost to Zenit St. Petersburg in the round of 32.
There you go.
Fun facts. Fun fact: in 18-19, they were in the Europa League group stage with 2 Red Bull teams, Salzburg and Leipzig.
They did Red Bull double. The first British team. Like, it's weird that they're, a very I don't know if Scotland freedom is the correct way to put it. They're very pro-nationalistic, very, being
Yeah,
pro-Irish, and they're still the first British team to win the European Cup.
it is interesting.
That's kind of funny.
Can you name all the British teams to win the European Cup?
Definitely. Because I'm a weird knowledge of sports. And I 100% can do. Do you want to do it now? I'll try and do it in like a minute.
Fine, if you can do it in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, get the timer going.
All right, I'll get a timer going. You just get a list up to make sure you get.
Yeah,
some
you get a
Yeah.
list, and I
So
definitely
European
get
Cup. So
I assume
European/Champions League.
no negative marking. Then might blurt out a few that are wrong.
Okay.
All right, hold on. You've got
List.
1 minute. You ready?
Hold on, I'm getting it up.
All right. So I'm going to start my stopwatch when Keane says the first team.
Okay.
From that point, you've got a minute.
Okay. Celtic.
Okay.
United.
Yep.
Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
Aston Villa.
Yep.
Who's the next one? I think then there's a big gap for the next new team to win it. No, Liverpool. They would have won it
Yep.
early enough. Chelsea.
Yep.
Arsenal never did it. Leeds never did it. Yeah, City surely have done it.
No.
Really? God, they're shit. Not in the weird ones.
They only
They're
made the final last year.
They've been on the go for 10 years with the one thing of winning Champions League. Tottenham never won it. Arsenal never won it.
10 seconds.
Rangers never won it. Who else in Wales would have won it? I think I might be missing one really obvious one, I think, because I
That's
always
it.
know the weird ones.
That's your minute gone.
Alright, what I missed?
Yeah, I think you got them all.
Yeah, I get them all. I thought there was like an obvious one, like a Liverpool or United that I missed. But I always know Nottingham
You should have
Forest.
said that like 20 seconds ago when you
Yeah.
actually got the ball. We didn't
I
have to
think,
do the
yeah.
full minute. Like,
I'm just doing because it's really hard to actually check which is
I was
European
trying-
Cup.
I was trying to do it in order.
Like I'm saying, it says Aberdeen, but I think that's the Europa League, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
UEFA. I think that's everyone. You said Villa. I didn't think you get Villa.
Yeah, Villa and Forest are always the two that people always get mixed up. Let's see here. I think there's a by regions here.
Yeah, just to say. But I think you got them all. City haven't.
That actually was surprising. But I figured they won one in the last 10 years because that's like the
No,
only thing that they care
They've
about.
only got last year was their first final in the Champions League.
That is surprising.
Aberdeen won the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
United, Liverpool, Chelsea,
Leeds,
Villa,
Leeds
Forest,
were runner-up. I knew they got close, but they didn't get over the line.
and then Celtics the fifth, the
In
sixth.
Forest, yeah.
So that's it.
Chelsea,
Yeah, you
yeah.
got them all.
Happy days. Knew I could do that one. That one I knew was confident in.
Fair play, Keane.
All right.
I think we'll leave it on a high.
Yeah, leave it
we
on it.
should.
Leave it on a high. All right, we'll leave it there. So, well done, Keane, on that.
Thank you.
Listeners, let us know if you think he should be allowed to have.
For,
Who was it? Nick
uh,
Pope
uh,
for Burnley?
Nick Pope. I'm trying to remember why I know Nick Pope.
Dude,
It's
kind
definitely
of-
a meme
It's an
involving
Is it-
Nick
name.
Pope.
Is it because you're hearing the word Pope and say, I do know the word Pope?
No, but I said
I
Nick
have
Pope. I
heard
knew
of
it was
the
Nick
Pope.
I am aware that the Pope exists. He
All right.
has a...
We'll leave it there.
Yes.
Cheers, lads. Feed the algorithm.